Hey, you doing? Martin Lopez from the Curiosity Theory, and we're doing another live on the 31-day GST challenge. So looking at sharing with you my book, The Curiosity Theory. Today is day 21, so let's get into it really quick. Okay, actually, let me tell you what I'm doing, just in case you don't want to do. So what I'm doing is I'm going through my book, The Curiosity Theory, A Path from Conflict to Resolution, and every day I'm taking a little section and then I'm going to kind of read a little bit and then talk a little bit about it. So right now we are at the end of, I believe we're at the end of chapter 2, getting ready to go into chapter 3. So at the very end of chapter 2, and we're talking about practicing curiosity, facts versus stories. So practicing curiosity theory begins by recognizing that we are all human. Therefore, we're prone to jumping from the facts at hand, to emotion-driven and often incorrect stories, and then reacting to those stories as though they were themselves factual. So what I'm saying here is that we're human beings. We can't stop that, right? And as human beings, we jump to conclusions when we see a fact. Because what we do is we make a story out of it, and then the stories are interpreting the facts that we see. So if we see something, then immediately a story happens. We make up a story that's automatic. We don't even, for the most part, even try to make up a story. It just happens automatically. So and then what we do is we react to those stories as though they are actually true. So we say things. We see something, we say things, and then what we're doing with what we're saying is we actually start to believe it. We actually believe that what we're saying is actually the truth. And it completely makes sense because we're smart people, that we've worked our whole lives to make sense out of things. The problem is when we don't apply curiosity to actually investigate and see what's going on. So in my book, I give you a couple examples, and one of the examples is something called and actually I do this in my program, and it's called the baby shoes exercise. So there was it's an Ernest Hemingway myth where in a bar, Ernest Hemingway was bet that he couldn't write a story. I think he had to use 8 words or less, or 7 words or less. And he was challenged, actually with 7 words or less. So challenged to write a story with 7 words or less. And this is what he responded: for sale, baby shoes, never used. And so basically what we're saying is for sale, baby shoes, never used. When you think of that quick story, which he won the bet, obviously, it makes us think, what happened to the baby? Did he die? Did she die? There's so many things. What happened to the child? Was it an illness? Did they get in an accident? Why were the parents devastated? Were they guilty? So there's so many ideas that happen when we just have these little stories. And the facts is that something was for sale, and what was for sale is baby shoes that were never used. And that's the entire story. As a matter of fact, there was no baby even involved in the story. So what we do is we make up stories with just a little bit of facts, and that's not such a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. What I'm asking you to do in the curiosity theory is take a minute and investigate. Investigate what could be behind the story. Be curious and ask questions about the baby shoes. Ask questions about the for sale. Ask questions about those things. And then what I do is I go on to give you some examples. We do these things called micro stories. So micro stories are these little stories that show the people, the participants, and the people in the book, as well as participants in the program, that we do make up stories, and then we can start to separate our stories from the facts. So we take facts, and then we take facts, and then we create these stories, and these stories mean something. Like they're a meaning that we have. Like it means that the person was a bad parent because they were selling the baby shoes and they probably killed the baby, and we just go on, and we create dramas. And that's what we do with movies, and that's what we do with the news out there, is just we take the facts and we create stories, and then we speak as though these stories are true. I mean, I watch CNN, I watch Fox, I watch CBS, I watch all the different news outlets, and what they do is they'll put somebody on the news to speak, and then you can just see them. They're so committed to their story, so committed to the little facts that they got and interpreting it a particular way and saying, this person is like this person is like that. And that's what they do. And I think that's a tragedy because there's no real there's no truth to it. And they're so convincing. They get people going. They got people rioting. I mean, basically what we've done with so many of these news outlets is they've taken these facts and these stories and they made them mean something, and they got the left fighting against the right. Think about this. I personally think that the left and the right, if we get together, what we got a really great system. But when we're either completely right or completely left, it's not really that balanced. So, so the news is using that because they know that we prey on that. We want bad news because good news, there's no fun. There's no drama in good news. There's no good news in who's that, Kardashian, having a great marriage with, what is that guy's name? Is the rapper. What's up with that? Like, nobody cares if Kanye and Kim Kardashian have a good wedding, a good marriage. They only care that Kim Kardashian's out fooling around with somebody from the Raiders. It's just drama, because that's what sells, and that's what sucks us in. So some of the other micro stories that we use in the book are, let me kind of give you one. So, and what I'm asking you to do is think about the story and then see where you go, and then see if you can distinguish the facts from the story. A woman is leading a 10-year-old boy jaywalking across a busy downtown street. The child is pulling back against the woman's grasp. What story can you make out of that? Well, what are the facts? What are the stories? I'll give you another one. Your girlfriend is 2 hours late for a date. Checking your phone, you see a missed call with the caller ID of a local hospital. That's a good one, right? We're going to make up all kinds of stories. What are the facts and what are the stories? Let me give you another one. When you enter the small lunchroom at the office, 2 other employees, one male, one female, noticeably stop talking and look at you. What are the facts and what are the story and what do you make it mean? Human beings are meaning-making machines. We make everything mean something. And I'm not saying to not do that. My suggestion and the idea of the curiosity theory is question where that's coming from for you, and then question where it's coming from somebody else. Use curiosity. Use curiosity in your own personal reactions, your interactions with yourself, and use curiosity with interactions from other people. I'm Martin Lopez, the author of The Curiosity Theory. I want to thank you for spending day 21 with me. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.